Hey, how's it going? Why don't you come join me on a walk through Duratar? I thought I'd make this video because I've been thinking a lot about classic World of Warcraft. Every day I feel like there's new drama videos coming out, a new reason to hate Blizzard, a new reason to not want to play your favorite game. So, here I am, walking through Duratar. I want to give you my perspective on things, and how World of Warcraft Classic never becomes boring for me. I can keep playing it and keep playing it. I never seem to get sick of it. And this is my thought process behind that. I find with classic World of Warcraft, everyone wants to min-max the game. They want to get the best in slot. They want to play the most optimally. They want to get the raids done in 30 minutes. I kind of take an opposite approach to that. I'm a very casual gamer when it comes to classic World of Warcraft. Don't get me wrong, I love doing raids, love topping charts, love doing lots of damage, love seeing my numbers go up. But that's not what's number one for me. And I think that kind of idea is what solidifies why I love World of Warcraft, because I can play it multiple different ways. I don't have to worry about being the absolute best, or collecting the absolute number one gear, or topping the charts being the number one player. You don't have to be the best. You can play the game casually and enjoy it. I think as players, we ruin a lot of the magic and a lot of the game for ourselves because we're always trying to chase this top position. We're looking up guides, we're downloading add-ons, we're seeing the most optimal way to do something. We're kind of ruining the game for ourselves in doing so. I find, for me at least, I take a step back, delete my add-ons, do a playthrough just as the game was made, how Blizzard originally intended me to play the game. I treat it like a fantasy adventure, kind of like old school MMOs were meant to be. You're not supposed to necessarily play it like this super figured out game, you know, like I need this piece of gear and this piece of gear and this piece of gear. I say throw it out the door. If I want to wear full tier 1 because I think it looks cool, sure. I'm sure there's a better combination of things that I could wear that I would do much better performing, and I would do higher damage, but I like how tier 2 looks, or tier 1 looks. I do just a good enough damage. I'm not below average. I'm not underperforming. I'm not holding anyone back. I find groups of people who have a similar mindset to me who just want to take it easy, take it chill. If the raid takes a little longer, that's fine. We're not ruining the experience for anybody because they are doing a suboptimal job. I think playing the game suboptimally is actually a good way to get more enjoyment out of the game, as silly as that sounds. Now, you don't want to be a player like that playing with players who do want to do those 30-minute raids, who do want to top the charts, who do want to clear the content as fast as possible. There's definitely an audience for that. If you want to play like that, there's nothing wrong with that. But I think at the end of the day, that's how burnout sets in. You're trying to chase these super optimal levels, this super speed gameplay, and you're ruining the magic for yourself. Treat the world like the world it is. This fantasy adventure that you're venturing off into. Not this game that you need to solve and figure out. Try some light RP. You know, maybe at the end of every session you find an inn and you do a sleep in a bed, and that's how you log out. Little things like that will help reintroduce the magic in the World of Warcraft for you. And these are things that really help me kind of get back into experiencing the game for what it was intended to be like. And I think that's really important when it comes to MMORPGs, especially old school MMORPGs like classic WoW. You want to treat it like it's like a Dungeons and Dragons type adventure. Now, this message might not resonate with a lot of people, but I think there is a group of people that this will resonate with. If you're sick of how you're playing, you don't want to play the game anymore because, you know, the player experience has been ruined, whether it's how players play, how add-ons are telling you how to play the game. At the end of the day, it's a game. It's a fantasy experience. I, for one, don't like a lot of add-ons in my experience. I think that takes away from what the game's intentions were. And at the end of the day, once you install so many add-ons, you're kind of letting the game play for you. And really, what's the fun in that if you're being told what button to press, when to move? You're really being taken out of the experience. You're taking it out of the immersion. Now, I know there's a lot of add-ons that are essential to people. I know a lot of people love Questy, DBM, and there's a lot of good stuff that comes from that. A lot of good gameplay. But at the end of the day, I think there is a trade-off, and that trade-off is immersion, and it's having fun. And now I think that's kind of going to rub people the wrong way, because it's like, oh, you're not using DBM, you're not using Questy, what do you mean, you're a bad player? And if that's the case, that's their opinion, so be it. But for me at least, I think something like Questy, while it is helpful, it can tarnish the experience a bit. When was the last time you really read a quest? Instead of just, oh, I need to go here, I need to collect X, I need to collect Y, I need to do the thing. It's pretty rare for a lot of players to experience the game that way, the way it was intended. And I think if anything you can take away from this is try to get back into playing the game the way it was intended. The gaming landscape has changed so much over time. There's guides, there's optimal routes to do things, do this quest and then go over here and do this quest because it'll level you up the most optimal, fastest way. I think that really takes away from the game, and it takes away from the adventure, and at the end of the day, it slowly degrades the player experience, and you end up not enjoying your favorite game, which is kind of sad in my opinion. So I challenge the viewer today to do a run of World of Warcraft Classic. No add-ons. Read the quests. Don't care about how fast you level up. You've already hit 60 so many times. You've gotten your best in slot. You've done all the raids. You've experienced the game that way, but you haven't experienced the game the way it was intended. So, leaving this video, I'd say, play the game differently. Go into it with a different mindset. Try to be more casual. And honestly, play other games. Take a break if you find that this isn't the experience you want. Because there's nothing healthier than trying new things. One of the WoW tooltips in the load screen is literally take everything in moderation, even World of Warcraft. And to this day, that's the one tooltip that I remember all the time. And it helps me have a more enjoyable experience. I don't like to use add-ons anymore. I like to go in here and pretend that I am one of these fantasy races in a fantasy world, experiencing things, doing kind of like a roleplay element where I picture myself as my character. And I found I've gotten a lot of enjoyment that way. Playing suboptimally while seen silly, and it might tarnish a speedrunning group mentality, it's actually improved my mental state and how I feel about the game, and I've always gotten a lot of replayability out of the game that way. I'll level up, go through the journey, I'll get to level 60, and then I'll start over again. And then I'll do a new class, and I'll play it differently every time. If I'm not following a guide, I don't feel locked to the same type of level up experience. And the world feels like more of an adventure that way. And I feel like that's really special. And so, I guess, ending the video here, I'd just like to say, World of Warcraft burnout is a real thing. And you can ruin the game for yourself. And I feel like players really have ruined the game for themselves by playing this type of way. So, next time you play World of Warcraft, go into it with a new mentality. Be a little more casual about it. Take away those add-ons. Read a few quests. Go to sleep in an inn when you log out. Really get into your character. Pretend you are your character. And yeah, I appreciate you coming for this walk. Durotar is looking beautiful today. And happy questing. Hopefully you can go into the World of Warcraft with a new outlook after listening to this video. Thanks for popping by. I appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one. See you later.